Hello, my name is Scott Davis, and welcome to New World Birth. By accessing this presentation, you're inviting me to share this information regarding our passage through this challenging and yet very hopeful time. And this is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of May 22nd, 2014, and 1 Caban, or Earth, in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, with the Gemini New Moon, Venus moving into Taurus, and Mercury moving into Cancer. May 22nd is 1 Caban, or Earth. It carries the themes of natural rhythms, synchronizing the heart with Mother Earth, inspiration, the powers of creation, earthquakes, ancient wisdom, and the flowing of the natural order. Then the Maya believed that the same energy that is the soul of the heart also resides in the earth, and the day symbol for Earth also represents the interconnectedness of our emotions with the Earth's emotions. Ian Lungold wrote, "Sometimes the Earth's delicate sensitivities are upset, resulting in quakes of emotion, even the display of a volcanic temper. Neurophysicists have discovered that our hearts radiate the body's strongest electromagnetic frequency in a torus field, and this field is holographic and arcs out and returns along the axis of the heart and extends from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head. The Earth also is also the center of a holographic electromagnetic torus field, as is the solar system, as is the galaxy." So it's really interesting to note that because of their holographic nature, there is a belief that there is actually only one universal torus field, which means that our hearts are connected to the Earth, the solar system, and the galaxy, and ultimately the universe. And it's fractal, where we don't have a part, but the whole is represented in each one of us. This 13-day period is best used to change the patterns to be more heart-centered and balanced with our Mother Earth. Since this is since we begin a new Gregorian month during this Trecena, I thought I'd discuss the metaphysics of the upcoming month. June is the 6th month, and with the digits of 2014, when we add them all together, we get the number 13, and then we add the 1 and the 3, and that tells us that we're having a 13-4 month in numerology. And basic numerology reduces numbers to 1 through 9. So when we think about the arc, the 4 represents a time that brings integration of creative energy, the creative energy from May, as we experience June's events and complete what has begun over the last 3 months. The 4th month is about organization and plans that we make to move towards the peak of the cycle, which is during the 5-month, which will be July, of course. With Mars now moving direct, we have more energy for this final push to reach the summit, where we'll be able to see the backside of the 9-month cycle. So just think about it going up a mountain. Once you get to the top of the mountain, you can see the terrain of what's up yet to come. But we've got Mercury retrograde this month as well, which will have us reviewing information before our final ascent. So we can move to the next level of manifestation. The 13-4 combination is represented by the Death and Emperor tarot cards, which is about releasing the unnecessary and obstacles to moving forward on our paths to ultimately empower others through our example of selfless and enlightened leadership. The Death tarot card could be described by the quote from Mahatma Gandhi, where he said, "Birth and death are not two different states, but are different aspects of the same state." And John Heather described the Emperor energetic in the Tao of leadership. In enlightened leadership is service, not selfishness. The leader grows more and lasts longer by placing the well-being of all above the well-being of self alone. So in June, we're engaged in letting go of baggage and completing tasks so that our load is lighter, and leading by example to empower others through service as we plan and organize to reach July's summit, representing breakthrough, freedom, and change. as the 5-month in numerology. So before I get into the daily energy of one Caban or Earth, on the 22nd, all the planets are appearing to move forward from our vantage point here on Earth, with the exception of Saturn and and Pluto, which are appearing to be moving retrograde or in reverse motion. And Saturn turned retrograde on March 2nd. It turns direct July 20th. The themes of Saturn, which is in Scorpio, are things like loss and depression, failure, fear, the shadow, betrayal. The stuff really goes deep. So when we think about it, superficiality really doesn't cut it with Saturn and Scorpio. And Saturn retrograde is really like a taskmaster. It demands that we take responsibility to review the scorpionic themes, such as our motives, ethics, and intentions. If we've not been clear on these subjects, we're likely to feel that our burden is heavier than the load we previously had agreed to carry. And then Pluto represents death, completion. In Capricorn, it's a breakdown of structures to bring transformation. Pluto in Capricorn is determined in exposing the darkness, destroying the old order, so that we can rise up like the phoenix from the ashes to soar again. Capricorn's about large structures, including banks, governments, corporations, religions. So this is really a time of a cosmic course correction for the entire planet, related to those themes. And for me, I think it's really the resistance to Pluto's lessons of letting go of the past that really bring tragedy and pain into our lives. Capricorn's building and achievement. It's an earth sign. It's rooted in the material world. Think about that goat that's climbing the highest mountains as its symbol. Pluto rules the underworld. So we're talking about things like earthquakes, volcanoes, giant sinkholes, any events involving tunnels or subways. Infrastructure in general is also Capricorn's realm. So battles for underground resources, which we've all talked about before. And of course, Pluto in Capricorn, Capricorn represents our elders and things like that. And, here we've got, the U.S. government is trying to take away people's Social Security where they, paid for in payroll deductions, which again, another theme that we see when Pluto is moving through Capricorn, basically looking at, a death and rebirth process related to how we treat our elders. And hopefully we'll be treating them the way they should be treated, and not letting the government that stole from Social Security get away with it. So let's look at the daily vibrational energy for this Trecena. May 22nd, 2014, one Caban or Earth, unity experience through gratitude for Mother Earth. I'm not covering the daily lunar activity in these reports other than new and full moons, but that information is available on the New World Birth daily Facebook post or on the blogger New World Birth blog. So go there if you want to know what the lunar energy is for every single day of the Trecena. The 23rd is 2 Etsnob. It's or Flint, which is about duality experience through being introspection, through being introspective. May 24th is 3 Kalak or Storm, taking action through recognizing the gifts of adversity. And at that point we have Jupiter right up here in Cancer, in a trine to Saturn in Scorpio. So this is a 120-degree angle. It's very beneficial gathering of these two power horses. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, where it finds comfort and expands to meet the emotional needs of Cancer. Saturn in Scorpio is in a mutual receptive situation with Pluto and Capricorn, because they're both in each other's signs. So this is very powerful. With Jupiter in the mix, this is a time where those experiences yield a payoff from working on creative and transformative projects. This may feel like an oasis in this expansive desert of all the Uranus-Pluto squares that we've been going through. So take this time to really, drink deeply Enjoy the gifts. Prepare your camel for the long journey ahead. Jupiter brings gifts to renew our bodies, minds, and inspiration. With Jupiter, we can see the whole. With Saturn, it allows us to see the details. So truly, this is going to be a time where we can see the forest and the trees. It's a great time to expand business or start a new one or branch out in a new area. This alignment has been in orb since last summer, which would explain how the stock market has actually remained so buoyant when we all know that it's all smoke and mirrors. Anyway, the 25th is for Ahau, or Sun. This is about stability through honoring the wisdom and memory of our ancestors in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. May 26th, 5 Emesh, or Crocodile. This is about empowerment through nurturing new beginnings. The 27th is 6 Eek, or Wind. This is about being in the flow through communications. May 28th is 7 Akbal, or Night, reflection through contemplating the stars. And this is when we have the Gemini New Moon. New moons are times of new beginnings, and in Gemini, this is about shifting and changing our thinking and communications. New moons bring an opportunity to set an intention for manifestation on the following full moon. So look at the house of your astrology chart that contains 7 degrees of Gemini to consider what area in your life is being activated by this new moon. For me, it will be my 12th house of secrets, sorrows, and self-undoing. But it's also one of the most mystical of the houses and is linked to psychic powers. So I would set an intention related to to something like that for using this energy. The moon merging with the sun, it's in a square challenged by Neptune, and in a trine being supported by Mars, which makes daydreams and fantasies feel more important than reality. With Neptune, with Mars, it has us feeling more confident than usual with our ability to assert ourselves in a positive manner. Overall, this is a social new moon that's focused on birthing new information and communications. Also on the 28th, Venus changes signs and it moves into Taurus. So Venus along into Taurus there, which is beneficial because Taurus is more affectionate and sensual than Aries. Being in an Earth sign, there's a realization about damage that a bad relationship could bring. So with Taurus, we've got some caution about entering into love too quickly. But this could be very passionate energy that wants to please the significant other or the lover. This is also about enjoying arts and music along with fine food that nourishes the body and the soul over the next 3+ weeks. And with this, we've got Mercury in a sextile to Venus, which is a 60-degree angle. And actually would have occurred right before Venus moved into Taurus. So Mercury, this is the second time on the 28th of May that this angle has happened. And Mercury in harmony with Venus brings a light-hearted energy to the day. And by the second time, I mean the second time in this month. This is nice for using our minds for leisure. Things like reading for pleasure or going to an art show or a concert, playing a game that you enjoy, or just talking with friends. This is a day where we get a break from kind of the heavier concerns of life. So it's also excellent for communicating our feelings to the people we love. So tell somebody you love them with this energy. Do it anyway. Any day is a good day to tell somebody you love them. But on this day, it's going to just flow. It'll probably happen more likely. Basically express your appreciation and gratitude, and I suspect it will come back to you in kind. It's also an excellent day to appreciate beauty. So you may want to put yourself in a beautiful environment, whether it's home, a museum, or a day in the country. Also on the 28th, the Sun squares Neptune. So from our perspective here on Earth, This is a 90-degree angle between the Sun and Neptune, which brings it's kind of a low energy day, which seems like to take more energy to complete the normal daily tasks. If possible, this would be a day to have kind of a lighter schedule and more time to rest. Some will feel a little beaten down by this transit, so it's not a good day to work for work that requires courage or a great self-confidence. Just don't get discouraged. This only lasts a day. And then the 29th, we have 8 Kah-ban, or seed, or lizard in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, which is about balance through planting seeds and making new connections. And at this point, Mercury enters into Cancer. So it crosses this line into Cancer, where, due to its retrograde cycle, it's only going to spend a few weeks before returning to Gemini. And you can see that in this chart because it's going to come around and then it's going to be in Gemini and moving across the front of this in front of the Sun, which would be opposite. Most planets, from our perspective, are moving counterclockwise, but at this point, from our perspective here on the Earth, Mercury would appear to be moving clockwise on this diagram. So anyway, it's going to spend a couple weeks in the sign of the Crab, where people will be reviewing their homes and families from the perspective of security. May 30th is 9 Chan, or serpent, patient experience through being flexible. And then the 31st is 10 Kimi, or transformation, which is about manifestation through releasing what no longer serves us, while we have the Sun in trine Mars. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 120-degree angle, which is really positive for being ourselves. It's wonderful energy for working alone on a project, not because we can't get along with others, but because we won't want to compromise our vision to accommodate the opinions of others. People will feel more physically vigorous when Mars possibly interacts with the Sun. So channeling this energy into physical activity is recommended, not only for the health of the body, but also it has an uplifting effect on the mind and spirit. This is a good time to look at various projects that were begun in the past but not completed, to assess where they are in their development and our motivations in initiating them. What can be completed soon? If there have been recent new beginnings, are there any kind of imbalances that need adjusting? Look at your own needs and criteria. It will help us make meaningful the work we engage with at this time. And then we begin June. June 1st is 11 Manik, or deer in the Tzolkin calendar, resolution through being a service to others. The 2nd is 12 Lamat, or rabbit or star, understanding through being grateful for abundant relationships. And June 3rd is 13 Maluk, or offering, movement to the next stage through appreciating creation. So no matter what the energies that are affecting you during this one Earth Trisena, take some time out to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or just being really conscious of when you're with somebody that you love. Every single day we have is a blessing, no matter what the dramas are that just beckon to distract us. I know we're all here giving the performance of a lifetime on this world stage. Just remember to take some time to observe the play as well as act your part, and by remembering that you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. Anyway, thank you for checking out New World Birth. Our next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on June 4th, 2014, for one Auk, or dog, with Mercury turning retrograde, followed by Neptune turning retrograde, and the Sagittarius full moon. You can check us out on Facebook or YouTube or the Mayan Magics website, and I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. I'll be discussing the Metaphysics of June 2014 and providing some very short 10 to 15 minute human design readings to the participants of the Earth Meets Rebel show on Truth Frequency Radio on Monday, June 2nd. The show starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. I come on about 1:30 Eastern Daylight Time, and it goes to 3. If you want to participate, get a reading, you just contact Katie in the chat space, or you can message her with your information, or if you'd like to come on the show, you can message her with your telephone number, and they will call you for free anywhere on the planet. And as always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or you wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. And these readings are epic. At this point, they're, as packed as one of these videos are, but all the information is about you. And they tend to go from 2 to 3 hours without any problem, just putting it out there. Anyway, basic level of it, we do a human design reading, look at your chart, so that you can understand how to use your individual strategy and authority in making life decisions based on your unique design. At the second level, I include 3 months of astrological transits as they relate to your natal and progressive astrology chart, along with the human design reading, so you get 2 readings in one. At the top level, the human design and astrology transit reading is recorded and sent to you as an MP3 file that you can download to your computer and review the information over and over again, which I really recommend because it's dense, and I have a hard time, believing that people who don't get the recording really, can take in all that information so rapidly. So anyway, whatever you want to do, I'm there to provide that service. If you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You're going to either need to be able to call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect on Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. But I'd recommend getting a reading. It's a donation, and you get something really good out of it too. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time out to connect with my passion for all these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey in this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. In Lakesh, namaste, and I'm really, very grateful for your awareness and participation in what we're doing here. So peace, everybody.